Hey Bayek, it's me Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection box set. And it is actually the very last one from this box set. So, all is not lost though, because we'll still be doing more Alfred Hitchcock films next week. Today's film is Family Plot from 1976. It's been described as a black comedy thriller. Yeah, maybe. I think that might be it's an interesting film, anyhow, particularly as it being the last one. It's 120 minutes long, so that's 2 hours there. And it's 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think, though there are some critics who perhaps don't see it as favourable, a lot of them did. I think they understood this film for what it was, and there wasn't that particular, reaction on it. It's another bad one. It's not very far from that. I think particularly after Frenzy being such a great film. But of course Frenzy even had its detractors at the time, and now, well, anyhow, I'm rambling on there a bit. It's interesting. It was made on a budget of $4.5 million and made in the box office $13 million. So I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It still shows that the Hitchcock magic is still there to attract the box office audience, definitely. Now, it's written by Ernest Lehman, a name you might remember because, well, he's been involved with Hitchcock before, and that was in North by Northwest, 1959. A film that I haven't reviewed because he's not in this box set, but will be coming up in the following weeks. But anyhow, I've drifted off there again. Now, he was, I didn't realise he was quite a writer for some interesting films. The Sound of Music, for instance, 1965. I didn't realise he was a writer of that. Black Sunday from 1977, which is a brilliant action thriller. He was the writer of that. And so it's based upon a novel called The Rainbird Pattern by Victor Canning, but the novel is a lot darker, and this tone is very different in this film. In fact, it's very different from the novel, really. So, as I say, this is Hitchcock's last film. And incidentally, it was his 53rd film. Wow. That is amazing, isn't it? It was 53rd film. As in the sort of documentary and extras on this, it says that really Hitchcock came to a point, he was working on another film. I think he just wasn't well enough now anymore to do it. And that's, he saw the reality of it. And also I think he's with his wife as well. She'd had various health problems as well. It was just the end, and he recognised it. And he died 4 years later from this 29th of April 1980. That was a sad end. But forever, I think, now remembered in terms of film history as a very influential, great director. Okay. Now, his last appearance, as he appears in the Hitchcock films, appears about 40 minutes in, and it's in a silhouette form. We see it in the registrar of births and deaths office. We see his silhouette just there. Um, it just stands out, it's him, and it's like the farewell, isn't it? Now, locations for this film, as usual, you can see a lot. As usual, he was always happy in the studio. One of the standout sort of sequences in this film is the car chase. Definitely, that is the filming is really good, and that was done with a second unit director on that one, and it works well, very well. He had everything storyboarded, of course. Hitchcock, he knew everything, but he preferred the studio now, really, by this time. So we've got locations at on this Angel's Crest Highway. That is where all this sort of action takes place, in the Angels National Forest in California. Then we've got a scene, particularly with the cathedral, which is Grace Cathedral Episcopal Church in San Francisco, and there are some other San Francisco scenes as well. So that's the locations on this. Let's go into the cast. Karen Black stars as Fran. Films, she's a wonderful actress in terms of some of the films she was in. Easy Rider, which I absolutely love. I always talk about that, 1969. A film called Cisco Pike, which is considered really a good film. That's from 1971. The Great Gatsby in 1974. The Trilogy of Terror, which is a horror TV film, 1975. Capricorn 1, the conspiracy theory one, 1977, the moon landing one. The Last Horror Film, what a film, that in 1982. That's got Joe Spinell and Caroline Munro in it. What a legends. Invaders from Mars, 1984, which is a Tobe Hooper film. Also, and I love this, she was in Children of the Corn 4. And I'm quite a fan of these. I know a lot of people say, yeah, oh God, here we go. Children of the Corn. I do love that one. She's in The Gathering one, which is rather good. I like that one. Okay, I know, we all have these things. I do tend to like these ones. I know, obviously, they're not as good as the original, but there we are. Anyway, she was in that. And she was in... this is an interesting film, which does get mentioned. House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003, which is a Rob Zombie film. Quite a popular horror film, that one. Then we've got Bruce Dern playing George Lumley. Bruce Dern, known for all sorts of films. Hang 'Em High, Clint Eastwood film, 1968. Silent Running, yes, 1972 is in that. Black Sunday, again, we mentioned that before, 1977, with Ernest Lehman as a writer on that one. And then he's in some Tarantino films. He's in Django Unchained, 2012. The Hateful Eight, 2015. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019. 3 Tarantino films. Wow. There we are. Then we've got Barbara Harris playing Blanche Tyler. Notable film she was in, and it sounds really an interesting one, was a film called Nashville, which is quite a good satire film from what I can see. And another film that I don't hear people talk about much, but I remember this film, really enjoyed it. Peggy Sue got married 1986. In fact, it makes me want to sort of go and check that one out again because I really enjoyed it. And then also another quite interesting bit of a cult classic is Gross Point Blank, which was her last film in 1997. And I was interested to find that Joe Strummer of The Clash composed the score for that. Sadly, he's no longer with us now with The Clash. But yeah, that was their last film. Then we've got William Devane, who plays Arthur Adamson. Also, he plays, you could say, Edward Shawbridge as well in this film. Is a face that you recognise. Marathon Man, 1976. Space Cowboys, 2000. Dark Knight Rises, 2012. Interstellar, masterpiece, 2014. Great actor. Lots of film roles he's been in. And then we've got another film actor that you might recognise. I did immediately for his TV thing. It's Ed Lauter, who plays Joseph Maloney. He was in French Connection 2. He was in Cujo, 1983. French Connection 2 is 1975. Death Wish 3. Wow, yes. 1985. He was in Raw Deal, an Arnie film, 1986. The Town That Dreaded Sundown, 2014 American slasher film. And why I say his face is familiar, because recently I did an X-File episode from the first season called Space, and he was in that. So immediately, there it's him that was in the first season, 1993. So there we are. So what's this film about? Well, I don't want to give too much away because it's a film that you've just got to sit and enjoy all the twists and turns. But basically, Blanche Tyler is a fake medium, and Julian Bird, a millionaire, asks her to locate somebody who can inherit a property, a family member she believes there is, who they have to find, they have to trace, and they don't know the name, they don't know hardly anything about it, and that is their task. But while that story is going on, and they become intertwined each other, is a pair of con artists who kidnap people and make their money that way. And they're a very interesting couple together. All these that they go through, and as I said, Karen Black is superb, absolutely superb in the role, and also William Devane as a partner in it is great. But all these come together, and it's brilliant. Their paths cross, yes, in a way that you might not expect, but it all works out beautifully. The comedy of it all as well. Hitchcock, for his last film, it's very different from Frenzy, but it works, and it's really enjoyable. You say that, you don't need to. I mean, yeah, it's got all the Hitchcock touches in the film. It's all there. You can see. And it's a beautiful film, but light, you could say light, and a brilliant wit in it. The script with Hitchcock very much apparently involved. He loved it. I think he loved doing this film because it was a complete contrast to what his last film was, and also being his very last film. It's a really good tribute to him, and it's not a bad film to end on. We shouldn't be negative about it. Just enjoy it, and I think over time its prestige has actually grown of this film. I think now it's considered. It's not going to be considered as the ultimate masterpiece, as they were saying, but in terms of Hitchcock, it's a great film, and put against a lot of other films, you can't beat it. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again. I think the performances he got from all the actors are fantastic. The actors make this film as well, carry it along. They're so into the script, you can see, and everything about it. Brilliant. I'd highly recommend this one. So, for the final time on this, here's the box set. If you've not got this box set, it's well worth getting. I hope that I've, over the weeks, I've been 14 films, I think there has been 14 weeks. Then hopefully you've grown to maybe be interested if you've not got this box set. But the films, Hitchcock, be interested in Hitchcock. And we're going to carry on, as I say. It's not the end of Hitchcock. There's more to come. And that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And we'll let you know when I put out these videos. Hopefully you'll like it. Look at the playlist and all that stuff. Maybe you will. Anyhow, there's lots of things hopefully you might enjoy. If you like this particular video, please give it a like. Gets it out onto YouTube and the algorithms and all that. Got any comments? I love to read your comments. Comments are great. Fantastic. And the cost note. Absolutely. And answer everyone. Yes. And that's it. So all I got to say is, I'll see thee again.